I'm gonna save as where's art? Inktober. Day 5. I've only done 5 days of Inktober. Fuck. Fish. Fish is our inspiration, okay? Guess I'll set it to gaming. Fuck it. I mean, we're going to Clip Studio. This is our sketch layer. Ooh. Now, the slight problem is that I've not really... I don't think I've drawn... Have I drawn a lot of fish in my time? In my day? Which fish have I really drawn? Let's do some quick sketching real quick. Let's get a feel. I will... sorry. I will try to make my sketches look a little bit better when it comes to... I have made clayfish really well before. I was gonna say, it depends on the type of fish. I'm definitely gonna look up some reference material. That looked like a trout. So let's look up a trout. I spelled that wrong. Oh my god, what the hell did I spell? Oh, okay, that's... yeah, I spelled it wrong. Oh, yeah, it's for sure. Those were like pretty much all trout. Oh. Okay, here's like a anatomical image we could use. It's like a watercolor image. We don't really need the color, but it is nice to see. Ooh, perspective shot. Look at this one. Hell yeah. We got... there is no way this is real. Hold on, you need to see this. What the fuck? Ain't no way this is a real-sized fish. You see people... what is with people and like over-the-top fish stories and then also photoshopping fish this big? Like, this doesn't look right. This also, some reason, doesn't look great. It looks like AI level happy, and all the blood dripping down. This is fucked up. I'm sorry. Let me, before I forget, let me change my fucking shit to art. How do I, where am I at? Can I edit my stream? Thank you. Oh my god, have I been in art this whole time? Wait, what? That can't be right. I'm reloading. I have not been streaming under the wrong title. I changed it. What the fuck? Yo, ain't no way. I changed the name of my stream and my fucking... and the fucking category and everything. Well, it's back to art. It did include that I put fish as a tag. The fucking hell? Hold on. I put something like... oh shit, what did I name it in Streamlabs? I forgot. Oh, I totally forgot what I named it. I just can't remember. I put fucking, but like with a slight, maybe it didn't like that I used the word fucking, but I censored it slightly. Shit, what did I name it? I put something about fish. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We're gonna do fish horror. What's Fear of Fish called? Wait a minute. Fear of Fish. Everything is capitalized. Oops. Oh, ichthyophobia. That makes sense. I'm just gonna completely copy and paste that, because fuck anything else. Ichthyophobia. Yep, that's it. Here you go. Nobody's gonna click on the stream because they can't fucking read that word and they're gonna be very confused. What the hell is that? Okay, I got some pictures of all different types of trout. I wanted to see some like in nature and in movement, but fish ain't doing all that much really. Ooh, there's some cooked trout. That looks hella good. That's actually got seasonings on it. Yeah, they swim in the lower half of the water. They're a freshwater fish. I think the two images we've got here are perfectly fucking fine though. Is this really what I named this? and I've been in art this entire time. I swear to God, Streamlabs. Sometimes it does this shit to me. Okay. This is our references to work with. I'm just gonna have these here. I mean, inevitably... Oop. Fuck. Like, that's off-center. I'm really mad about that. Hold on. Okay, whatever, fuck it. These are just some references, okay? We want to study the fish. This would be my suggestion for anything that's like this. Definitely when doing something like that is to draw the body movement line, which you're supposed to really do for fucking everything anyway, technically. But you can get a good idea for the curve of the mouth. It's kind of almost like the curve of a skirt in a way there, but the bottom half of their mouths are quite sharp, as well as any of their fins. People don't realize that, but the fins on a fish are fucking sharp. They have actually they kind of have like a razor blade piece on them. And those gills, it all works very organically into each other. They got like a good bit of body. Good bit of body to them. The eyes are the funniest, so they can always be drawn really stupidly. I didn't leave enough room for certain parts of this, I can see that now. Now this area where these two other fins are, obviously your back fin is going to act like a rudder on a boat, which I'm sure is how we got the idea for rudders, was studying fish and other aquatic creatures of different kinds. But all of this, yes, some of it controls movement, but I think these two here, I'm not positive, but it should be somewhere in this area is where you'll find a cloaca, probably a little lower down, so it's easier for the other fish to get in. Well, no, they don't. So most fish don't have a penis. Okay, most fish don't got penile areas. They pretty much all have cloaca. They're gonna have like male and female sex organs inside. It all depends on the fish, but typically what you're gonna see is that the men will shoot out sperm onto eggs that a female fish has. Like, she just shoots the eggs out somewhere. Again, this is like, let's say for salmon, she's upstream, she shoots the eggs out and they lay along this huge rock bed where all the female fish are shooting out their eggs. And then the male is just gonna shoot out his sperm once he finally makes it to the top of that river. And it's gonna hopefully get on some eggs and get into the eggs and make babies, but then he's gonna die like immediately after. So that's how a lot of fish insemination works. But for the most part, they have a cloaca, which is essentially like an everything entryway, exit way. But it's gonna lead off to different parts. I don't know if I could show any kind of not map, but like visual aid. I don't know if I'm allowed to show like even a drawing of like fish reproductive system. Not that we're gonna be drawing that today. I don't know how I got into that, but let's say it's somewhere around here. I've done, obviously I've caught fish, but you normally wouldn't see the cloaca, but I've had to, mark it with like little toothpicks and flags with like the names of everything on them in zoology classes where we did a dissection like almost at least once a month, if not more. But I was also really good at that, just like my anatomy classes, like any science class I was good at. So my teacher, I was his favorite, so he'd always give me like his biggest and like best specimen to work with. Also because I was obviously good at drawing, I would just draw it like super realistically out on the paper as well, and just like use that for study notes. And he fucking loved that shit. And then we had idiots in my class. So there was at one point where we're supposed to dissect a let's draw a little Patrick starfish here. There are starfish that have much more. I'm gonna draw like a fucking regular ass. What we think of. Oh my god. I hate myself. What we think of. I need to warm up my wrist anyway. That's why I'm doing this. What we think of as a starfish, right? This amount of appendages. There are ones that have up to like 12 or something ridiculous and they look fucking terrifying. But the way that they move is they have this little the barnacle looking ass thing on them, and they suck air in through it, and then that goes along their system, and they have all these little, almost like fucking an octopus, where they have, well, what is it called, the sucker thingies on the ends of their tentacles, but it's basically like feet, I think they're kind of referred to, and they push the air out through these, and they push it out through like different ones so as to move along the ocean floor, so they look like they're gliding, like they look like they're on a conveyor belt almost. It's very bizarre. But anyway, this was an important thing to, like, you'll see this if you're ever up close to one. You can see that there's like a significant, likely larger pore on them than the rest of all their other little like weird ventricles. Maybe that's what this is called, a ventricle. Anyway, we're supposed to, like, all of their main nervous system obviously is in the center of them. It's protected by everything else, and the fact that if these are very, like, they get cut off and they regrow, or they can regrow into two other ones, or like a weirder looking one. I don't know how I got onto starfish when I'm talking about trout, but anyway, we had a day where we were supposed to cut a hole similar to a lid and just pop it off, right? So that we could look into this area and see like their brain-ish, you know, like their nervous system and like the connections and everything. We had this one idiot kid in my class who couldn't read instructions, and he just cut a full hole through the entire starfish and like pulled out that section, so it was just like sitting there. I cannot tell you the way that my teacher yelled at him at school for that. It was so fucking funny. But that was like the majority of students when it came to like zoology, and they were like that level of dumb, apparently. Let me eat some more. I don't know why I'm feeling like faint. Maybe I'm tired. I slept for like weirdly long hours the past few days, but I also streamed like 10 hours almost every day for the past week, so I don't think I should really be that fucking shocked at myself. How do we make a fish spooky? This game was about fishing, and not fishing. This game was about fish, and it was very fucking spooky. I don't want to draw something exactly from the game. There are parasites, but parasites are naturally fucking terrifying, and we already did a spider, which isn't a parasite, but it's still like a boog in that sense. So I wanted to draw something a little different. I'm just trying to think fish, but scary, because fish can already be cute. All of my other Inktober stuff has been cute, but based on naturally scary things. Fish are not a naturally scary thing. Oh, sharks are scary. I brought up trout because I was thinking the whole game was fucking trout. What do y'all think? Should we go with trout and make it into something else? Should we make do you think we could make a trout on a witch's broom and give it like, you know, like a hat and the little like skirt kind of thing, and have a broom coming out underneath it, but that turns into the fin? Okay, I might be getting too imaginative here. Shit. I'm trying to think of like a combo that we could do, but it would still be kind of cute. Okay, I think I could manage that. Hold on. I need it to take up a fair amount of space, you know? I want it to be like up in the night sky. Okay, so let's say... I'm trying to think of a pose. So I don't want it to be purely... It would be easiest for me to conceptualize it by drawing it horizontally, and normally that's what you kind of do when you're making a new character. This is a pretty intensely new character, because I'm gonna have to figure out how to make a fish look like it's sitting on on a broom, and then kind of coming out, and like, I'm gonna need to do this kind of deal. I don't know if this is really possible. We could do a mermaid as a witch, but I think that'll just be too cute and potentially just get too, like, horny to the point that I think Twitch would not be happy with me. Shit. Is there a different monster that we could combine with a fish? What is a water monster that's associated with Halloween? There's like that seaweedy guy. Swamp thing? That's not really... You can't really tell what's under there, is the idea. Am I forgetting something like super obvious? I said shark, but I want to draw a trout. I want to make it a fish, you know? What is Halloween that's water? They're sirens, but they're just, again, they're like hot. They're not really scary, and they're not what you think of for classic Halloween. Ooh, well, I was thinking of, is it Jason that comes out from behind the, we've got like we could do like the scene of him. I might just pull up the scene to get a better idea, honestly, of the geometrics of this. But you know, it's at the end of the first movie. Is it Friday the 13th? Yeah. End of the first movie, where he like jumps out of the water, you know? And it's fucking scary, and there's like the splash effect. We could do that, but just make it a big fish, except the fish also has like the hockey mask like hanging out the side of his head, like Japanese festival style, but it's like a big stupid fish head with like a big dumb eye. And then the dumb fish is also holding, what is it that he carries? Is it a knife or like a chainsaw? Why am I forgetting this? Hold on. Jason jumping out of water. That doesn't look great. Oh my god! Oh! Oh my god, the burned body. I guess I never saw part 2. Hold on, at the dock. I'm at part 1. Oh my Jesus hell. Hold on. Oh, the burned, why is that allowed on Google Images? We can't see titty, but we can see that? Oh. Maybe I don't need to be doing horror today. This is terrifying. Hold on, what the fuck is going on? Hold on, Jason, end of part... what movie did I watch? End of part 1, he jumps out the water. Am I going crazy, y'all? He jumps out the water at the end of part 1, but it's at night and she's like at the dock. And I swear to God, I don't know how to Google anything. Everyone always tells me. I had one person I was dating tell me that I was horrible at Googling things because I could never find shit and they would find it immediately. It was embarrassing. Where the fuck? Am I stupid? Did this not happen in this movie? Oh, he has a machete. That's right. Okay, fuck whatever else was going on. I really wanted that reference image, but I mean, we're going with the machete. This is a rough sketch, I know. But also he holds the machete in his left hand, it looks like. Machete, ooh, I saw a guy with the machete the other day when I was, months ago when I was still at work, at my job. There's a guy that just walked, I was riding my bike to work at 3 in the morning, there's a guy just like, he had a machete with him, and he was flinging it around so fast and so like deftly that, and I was pretty far away, and of course it's pitch black, so it's 3 a.m. when I ride my bike to work. I thought he just had a belt out and he was whipping it around, because like nobody's on the street at 3 in the morning, so I was like, hey, he's just kind of having fun, and plus maybe he just wants people to fuck off because it's 3 in the morning, and he's just trying to be like protect himself by looking scary from afar. I was like, okay, cool. And he's on the sidewalk, and I'm in the bike lane that's like right next to the sidewalk. And then suddenly he stops flipping it around, like he's walking the same way I'm going, so I'm behind him, you know? And he brings it like down by his side, and I noticed just by the way that it moves, I'm like, oh, that's stiff. I'm like, oh, that's not a belt. It's like way, and it goes way past his knees. I was like, that's like a 2-foot long machete. And I was like, and I'm crossing the road. And as I was crossing the road, I was getting close enough to him that he like could hear me and like saw the light of my bike, and he started like running at me, and I was like, yep, I'm really glad across the road. And I just had to like speed through this area where I couldn't see anything because I was basically running from this guy on a bike because he's just chasing at me with his machete. I was like, my local, I guess, crackhead in that instance. I don't know, it could have been meth. Knowing this area, and there's several users of both. I do love, a week ago or something, my neighborhood. So I'm having to eat more food, I'm just feeling lightheaded. My neighborhood, my neighborhood sent out a notice on like the company portal, like their website thing. They're like, yeah, so we got a report that were some gunshots coming from outside the neighborhood, and like, you know, called the police or whatever. Just wanted to let everybody know. And I was laughing my ass off because I was like, I hear gunshots literally at least twice a week where I live, and especially at night because I'm up at odd hours. And normally it is outside the neighborhood at least. I've only think it's maybe been twice that I've heard them where they're either right next to it or really close. But I live in like the poorest, like, well, like if you live in the town I live in and you say the street I live off of, then everybody's like, oh. Like, it's a rough area. I've always grown up in places like this, so I'm used to it, but I just thought it was really funny. I was like, this is actually, I never realized, but this is the first time they've ever said a damn thing about that. The police are investigating. So I was like, people are not letting off fireworks like 2 to 3 days a week and only at these specific times. And also, like, I know the cadence of gunshots, like the spacing between, and I know how it sounds compared to fireworks. I would also be seeing the fireworks. I hear the gunshots and I'll be walking my dogs and I'm like, yeah, I ain't seeing fireworks anywhere, so I'm going home. That's just so good. Okay, anyway. I'm wondering... Because I am tired. I didn't take my nap today like I normally should. I just wasn't able to. Too much was going on. I'm gonna try to make this a quicker drawing stream. I'm sorry. For Inktober. So I'm just not feeling well. If I use this... Oh! That's not so bad. Okay. Trout. How do I want to... I want the open mouth. I really want to capture that open mouth. That's going to be the hard part, I think, for me, sometimes with those technical details, because we're really only having him like this. I think he really does just have like straight up an oval for a head. Has an oval that ends kind of like that. I'm just going to try to get like the body and the shaping down here before, and I am going to try to do like a nice looking thing. My stabilization is really fucking low, so please forgive me for how wild this sketch is about to look. Am I wrong? Is this not the ending of this movie? Also, that doesn't look right. Is it just because I can't tell straight lines that doesn't look like right to me? Like, this looks normal, but this line looks wrong. It looks like it should... Ah, fuck it. I'm gonna do what I want to do. My fucking blind ass. Yeah, that looks a little more natural. Oh man, I also don't want to draw fucking water. This shit takes a while, okay? Look, we're just doing a basis here. Setting things up. Okay, most important part is the fish's head is... I drew this really big. But you know what's good about that? It means that we can actually add the detail that we need. He jumps out of the water in it, and I need to have enough of him because the water is going to be about like here. It should be somewhere like this, like waist height. He just really only gets bigger in the same exact shape as that. Okay. These ones have kind of small fins, actually. It's interesting. It's similar to a butterfly wing in a sense. I don't have to make it perfect, but I just want it to be like recognizable as a fish, just because I'm gonna be making him so like human-esque. God, I just never draw anything, like I don't fucking draw fish, and I definitely don't draw anything like this. I'm gonna try to make his eyes look as like bulbous and stupid on the side of his face, because these are supposed to be silly. But I do want him to look a little scary, so he's gonna have this big mop ass mouth. I am so sorry. I fully knew that burp was coming and just did not think about it. I apologize. I know there's people that absolutely can't stand when people do that. I just fucking forget every time. I normally am somebody that would like, you know, walk out the room and like hide things like that. But the work that I've been at for the past few years has been with these fucking 50-year-old ladies that burp like 10 decibels louder than I ever possibly could, and they just don't say shit. They don't give a fuck about it. It's honestly really funny. but it is shocking at the same time. Okay. I just want to get some of these in here so I can get a better idea of it there for when I draw the proper line work. He has this kind of like this going on. I'm wondering if I could like simplify that. Yeah, make him look like kind of a tough guy. Okay. He's supposed to look a little scurry. No, it's definitely longer on one side than the other. I think this one looks better than this one though, for sure. I mean, other than the fact that my wrist was like completely fucked up there. I think this needs to go a bit more like that. What do you think? Now, how do I show something like this holding a machete? Should the machete be facing out this way instead? Because I wanted it to just be... Oh, you know what? I should have it where his hand is curled around it, so maybe it should be like that. Hold on. I mean, I know how to make this shape now that I've drawn it once. That's usually all it takes. That's always something that's been really hard for me with, like, learning, is that people don't understand. I'm like, I need to just do it in order to learn it, and they're like, you can't learn it from me just, like, telling you. I'm like, no, just let me do it. And, like, I do it one time and I can do it flawlessly, that, like, afterwards, flawlessly. I can do it well, like much better than typical expectations would be, but like I have to physically do something. And that's why stuff like martial arts and all that works really well for me. But I just have to practice it on my own. Like that was something I had one instructor that would get annoyed because I would just be like doing the move while they're showing it to me, like doing it step by step. But I had to tell him, I was like, literally, this is just how I fucking learn. Like, I can't do it any other way. Okay. And then machete's kind of like this shape. I feel like that's a little too short, and it doesn't look quite right. Hold on. It's just a curved blade that goes down so thin at the end. Machete, I don't know why it gives me flashbacks to fucking Louisiana. Anyway. Okay, they both need to come down like this, but it needs to be kind of this vibe. Yeah. But you know better. It's very particular sometimes. I apologize. A little three-dimensionality. Okay. We are getting Jason vibes. Only problem is we need the mask somehow. Should he have the mask strapped on like those idiots who wear COVID masks under their face? I feel like that's something someone as smart as a fish would do. So like, maybe that's oh, I'm not. Excuse me. Yeah. There we go. I feel like that would be very funny, but at the same time, it's not quite. Is it giving Jason in the way it needs to? Do I have another option? Is the other question. Now, how exactly? What is the mask? Jason mask, and we need the OG because you know what? I'm all about that. Here we go. Ooh, it's fucked up. Okay. It's a hockey mask, so it is actually a little more oval. I do need to erase this because there's quite a bit of detail on it. Not that I need to show fucking everything. Straps are about actually right where I put them. They are in line kind of with the eyes. And then there's a prominent nose, but it's just like you wouldn't really see it. I'm gonna make my white red, which will show up later, don't worry. I'm just trying to get the vibe. So what would this red be from actually? Because this part of the red I know isn't from blood. It looks like it's just like a design of the hockey mask originally, I guess, and it's gotten fucked up. I don't know. Isn't it a hockey mask? I genuinely have no fucking clue what they really... Like, I've seen hockey and gone to, like, a game, and I enjoy it because it's you're not suffering in the sun, and there's fighting. Pretty much the only type of sports I enjoy. Soccer I do like as well, but you know, the women always typically play better in the US, that's for certain. And it can be very funny of a sport. I much prefer to play sports than anything. God, he's got so many holes on this fucking thing. You know, you think a being that keeps coming back to life wouldn't have so much trouble breathing. Okay, and it's got like the little spots that old people have. Liver spots, as they're known. Got drinking problems, Jason, damn. And these two have been completely, well, it shows up here and then it's gotten shredded out. And he's got one big piece here that's the same as those two. I guess I'll just erase and... Okay, it doesn't really fucking doesn't matter. Yeah. Okay. I think we got a good idea. It's, yeah, the whole thing is just oval as fuck. To accommodate. I guess that's it. It's just so many holes in it. Like, do they need that many holes? I can understand around the mouth and the nose to breathe, but like, are the other ones like a stability thing or like support for the fact, like, is it something to do with, I guess aerodynamics maybe, but isn't the mask only for the goalie? I was thinking maybe there's something to do with like structural integrity and like taking, if you take a hit and it's not as bad. I don't know. I don't take loads to the face often enough, I guess. Okay. Hockey fish. I thought I selected eraser, my bad. My bad. My bad. My bad. Okay. Here we go. I think that's perfect. And their eyes are borderline a human eye. That's terrifying. Honestly, this does make them look hilarious. I totally see why you would want them. This is reminding me... Drawing this is reminding me immensely of SpongeBob. Anything else I want to do with the mouth in terms of this? I think that's good there. Now, the only problem is that we're basically seeing all the underside, so we're not really getting some of the detail that's fun about them when it comes to color, which I'm not planning to color them in. But I thought I might do some of the spots or something, but you're really not gonna see that at all. Okay. I might do just like a little bit of his like wiggling inner area showing. And then needs to have the all splash effect. It's not too hard to draw. I've got to get better at drawing water. My comic is a lot of magic happening, and I don't know if water is going to be such a thing in it. I have people that are going to be doing stuff that's akin to like fighting magic at one point. Spoilerinos. But it's not necessarily going to be like, it's not like bending or anything. It's going to be magic that's like used for fighting, and it's more so. Okay. Now that we've got our reps out the way, what are we thinking? I want to make this look like a little more serrated, honestly. Okay. I need to stop. Just need to stop. The only color I'm going to do is on mask, by the way. I think that's pretty clear. Let me just... Also, I'm gonna make these curved when I draw them. When I draw this area fully, I'm probably gonna either do something just really simple like this, or I am gonna do an actual like texture, like pattern brush and just say fuck it. The same thing for the dogs. Like, there's no need for me to do, shit. See, this is my problem. As long as I keep these parallel, which they aren't. Whatever. I don't care at this point. Now, wait a second. Would that mean that these look like this? The planks look like that on the side? Like, losing my fucking mind here. Feckin' is a hilarious word, just want to say. I just need these to look parallel to one another in a way that doesn't make them look... Like, they need to look like the same width. A little 2x4. Yeah, so something like that. It's really all they need to do. And then we'll use a texture pen. Okay. This is a sketch. This is a sketch, which means we need to stop fucking doing anything with it. We are going to use a vector layer for once. Now see, the sketch did, if I really wanted to, I could have done full sketch the whole time because the sketch does look really good with that texture pen. Switch over to my G pen, however. It's much smoother. This way, we don't have to... Oh my god, there's shit on my screen that I thought was a fucking straight line. Made me lose my mind for an instance. Anyway. This way we can also focus on correcting things that are important to us and making things more symmetrical for the type of person that cares about that. You know, a sane person. Wait a minute. This should have gone down here. Actually, that's fine. Like that. I do love line weight and shading, like having more of it probably than the average person, maybe, of the Majora's Mask art style. However, I also like every other non-psychopath love Ghibli art style. And that's because I love 80s anime and manga when it comes to art styles as well. Oh, that, yes. It's like, why is that there? That's his gills. Because this is where the gills start. It's like an eye bag, essentially, kind of. Interesting that way, but I think I'm gonna... This will be a really easy way for me to cut them off. It's just with the Jason mask. Wait, would he be holding this blade this direction, or would it be the other way? It does not matter. I don't know why I give a fuck about the things I give a fuck about sometimes. I'm gonna shut the hell up. Okay. We are gonna make another, and you have to make sure this is an object layer as well, otherwise you're not gonna be able to combine that, which will annoy the shit out of you if you do anything too much. Why is this not letting me... Sometimes it does this, where it keeps it, yeah. Anyway, ignore that. That shit's annoying. I don't think I actually need this because I want these to kind of not be perfectly round. But this does make things easier if I'm worried about these being two different shapes, like the sizes being too different. But I'm not. Them being two different sizes will, one, make this look much funnier, most likely. And this is also, I'm not being paid to make this. This is not, this is, I need water. This is not a commission. This is just me and my free time. Somehow enjoying myself. No. I am enjoying myself. This game scared the shit out of me today. I actually swear to God was more scared at some points. Maybe it's just like my day. I feel like I had a good relaxing day to a degree. But maybe that's why. I felt like I was more scared of this than I was playing at Silent Hill 2 Remake at times. I'm not sure why. That game definitely got me with like some... They did a good job on some jump scares in it, I think, but a lot of the time I think I just could really expect when everything was coming, and that was the problem with that I had with the person, was being able to expect it. Partially it was like I had played the original, but they changed things up the way that they typically were able to get me really good. Should this start here? Yeah. Sorry. The times they got me really good was in the ways they changed things up, and when they kind of followed the rules that I was talking about on that collab podcast with Ren Operative, was that they fucking, I can't keep my mind straight when I'm drawing. This is normally why I don't do art streams. No, when they built up suspense and they made you do something that you've done monotonously maybe before, like maybe several times kind of thing, or this doesn't look like an area that's leading up to a cutscene because normally all of these areas look this certain way or have this certain amount of space on my map. Like I can tell, I'm getting a boss fountain. Like, yeah, there's probably gonna be a scary cutscene. Like none of those places scared me. But fucking, oh, maybe I shouldn't spoil things for anybody that hasn't played or seen the remake. But there is a certain point where you are not expecting somebody to be in an area with you. I mean, I really can't say anymore because if I say the area or even the person, maybe it might be that would probably spoil it. But it's not where you'd expect them to be, for one thing, if you've been a fan or a player of the original who's seen it. That's definitely a good way that they kind of got you out of thinking that you were gonna catch some shit there. I don't think we should draw the inside of his mouth, really. I'm not sure if that's necessary. I feel like he's holding the machete the wrong way, but if he's holding it the other way, couldn't he just... Well, no, I think it's because this should be here and this should be here. So it's not like... It looks like he's not curving his fin. As much as this is already impossible, it looks like he's not curving his fin around this the right way. Because otherwise he'd just hit himself in the head. This is so stupid. This is such a stupid fucking drawing. God. Why am I the way that I am? I'm just gonna make some light indents to try and show what I'm, what's the word? What's happening here? I feel like if I make that with a straight line, it's gonna look weird. Sometimes for me, even if something's supposed to be straight, I give it just a hint of curve, or I use a curved line. And you can make it have a curve at the end or something. I prefer, obviously, to draw everything just like by hand, but sometimes a straight line really is important and can make a big difference in something. Curved line like that is pretty much perfect for the machete. This is where anytime I'm making something that's like a weapon, I'm having to draw like a gun, or, you know, obviously like architectural stuff too, but there are certain areas where you really need to actually use the line tools like that more than others. And obviously with vector layers, it's not like a problem to use the oh my god, I can't fucking think. It's not a problem to use your line tool, all because you can completely adjust them. That does help immensely. Do I want to show... Great, I'm just gonna do this. I'm gonna make that machete really fucking simple for now and not worry about it. We are gonna make our fish look like a goddamn fucking fat-necked ass fish. Scary ass shit over here. Their arms are not in the space. Love that for them. Oh, I'm loving drawing my little chippy character. He's so cute. Even though he is supposed to be Fish Jason. I'm just gonna finish that area. I'll get to more detail in here in a bit. This one is starting so much lower. Should I maybe take this and move it up higher? Because this feels like this is the exact right place for it. Hold on. Let me erase that real quick. And this, honestly. The two lines that I just drew in thinking that they would be like, yep, that's done. Let me move this so that it's a little more in line with where his other arm starts. And honestly, that gives us a bit scarier. Yeah, that's much better. That's a bit scarier for sure. yeah, I was gonna say I love the darkness of the line weight and depth in terms of showing like the shadows, like Shin Megami Tensei, like the Persona series and stuff like that. They also do a great job of showing that art style when it comes to doing like a ton of really dark shading for their shadows, like stuff that normally people would just use like a different color. They might use like the darkest version of that color, or completely use black, like just in places you normally would never use that. And it reminds me of manga for one thing, which makes me like it for that reason. But also, pretty much, I'd say Majora's Mask is pretty much all like, they just use like straight up black for like every shadow in a lot of their fucking, what's it called, concept art. They do that a lot in there, and it's fantastic. I highly recommend it if you're somebody who likes to see a bit more line weight. You don't have to make it exactly like theirs, obviously, but if you're developing your own style and you see that that's something you like, but you don't see people doing often, it's a great way to study it and see how it can be done, you know, maybe to a lesser degree or whatever, the degree that you want, just practice with it. Yeah, I definitely, Ghibli's obviously great to use for practice, but I like using it as part of just, fucking, what's the word? I don't want to say a series of, but several other, like, very popular or classic, I guess you'd say, like 80s anime, because that's the kind of style that I hope to emulate when it comes to my manga. I just like it because it can be very expressive for one thing. It's reminiscent sometimes of certain clothing style kind of thing that I like to see. My problem is that I did grow up liking Bleach a lot, so I already liked fashion and still do to this day. Like, I do sewing and things like that, and I make a lot of my own stuff for drag. I'm just super into the fashion aspect of drag. Like, obviously, I am somebody who I like to see stuff that's more creatively, like, personally made, even though there's some amazing stuff that they bring on to Drag Race, the show, that is like super expensive that people bought. Like, that can be cool, but I'm a little annoyed at the current state of Drag Race, where it's like you have to have the most fucking expensive shit in town. Like, people are spending so much money on it. I think the show was a lot more interesting in some ways when it showed what actual real drag looks like. Like, people go now, like straight people often go now to queer bars and they expect, or at least queer bars that allow drag, and they expect some RuPaul's Drag Race level budgets, and let me tell you, you're not gonna get that. You are absolutely fucking not going to be seeing your local drag queens. That is, they're just also not, they're not influencers either. Like, that's not, I think people are just expecting a totally different type of person when it comes to what they think drag is. It's a very interesting difference, what's shown on TV versus what is the actuality of it, and has been throughout queer history. Just trying to show this little bit of breakage. It actually ends in a circle here, which I think is great to show that that weak point is part of what broke off. And now we get to do something really fun and make a bunch of fucking ellipses. This shit's easy as hell. I'm actually gonna take that, copy and paste. Set. Copy and paste, thank you. And move it over to about here. I want it to look even, and obviously, like, the sketch is not even, so you can ignore that. And then I'm gonna take the curved line. I'm gonna just connect these. Merge selected. Thank you. I have not saved in fucking forever. Oops. What is our view? Where is our... We're seeing more from this angle, I want to say. Yeah. So actually, instead of that, we need this to be more like here. Honestly, I don't even know if this is worth showing. We're drawing a fish Jason. I feel like maybe I'm putting too much work in there. None of these small holes will get that because you just won't even be able to fucking see what the hell's going on. It would be technically, but like if I was doing this, what's the word, again, for like a commission, I would not just be doing these willy-nilly most likely. I would make one and then copy it and paste it about 1,000,000 fucking times for each time and move it into place of where I want these holes so that not only can I space them properly to not like look like whatever the character is that's having that distinct feature. No, I've never drawn Jason missions for anybody. I have never been asked. Feel free if you want to pay me. But I don't like how low that nose is. I'm trying to show that there's that curve there, but I don't want it to interfere with that. But for this is fine. I can make them look even enough. Holding the shift key down will make them their width and their verticality even, which is going to help us with sizing them more accurately. But the other thing about this mask is that it curves backwards pretty quickly. So some of these here are going to be much smaller. Oops, that one can be redone. This one is actually very incorrect. This just a little too incorrect for my liking, so it makes this one look weird. Okay, anyway. And then, yeah, so what I would do is copy and paste it so they're all the same size, and then for the ones that are like really getting pulled back here, I would actually do some transformation, like perspective warping and shit like that. I'm somebody that, like, if people ask me to draw something with like cloth with a pattern and like movement on it, or like a stretch or anything like that, I'm gonna make the pattern look like it's being stretched out. I like to show the perspective of things like that, and there's a lot of artists, I don't know if it's just because like people don't notice so they don't care or fucking what, but it does bother me to see them just clearly like easily slap a pattern onto something and not actually give a shit about stretching it out to look like the clothing, like the movement. I think if it's just like a fun sketch, or maybe it's like a very specific art style, like that character's like always looks like that kind of thing, or you know, there are times where that can work or look correct, but most of the time that's not how it's gonna look. And even in anime where things are less realistic, it just looks like you're being lazy. Okay, the other place I'm gonna put color is in these eyes. Quick. Thank you. Not that I'm adding any other color to this really. I'm gonna make a separate layer for the water. Yeah, okay. Do I want to use this? There are certain brushes that definitely work better for water, and there's even really good pattern brushes out there for water too, but typically I like to do the splash section myself. I'm gonna use any kind of like pattern brush along with it. Splash section could just be so particular. Really the best way to do it is honestly to draw this out not on a fucking vector layer. That can be troublesome, and to use like a big line and to just draw like something like this, like where you know it's gonna end up around here, and you're gonna like color all that in to be like the white section of it, and then what you'll do is you'll go in and erase it and make it like sharpen it up and Yeah, see, this doesn't work on a vector layer. But anyway, you'll erase it to mimic this more so, but you can get it looking a lot more accurate to a real splash and just looking at least more realistic. It's like an anime style or manga style splash. It's just similar, whoa, not that, to the flow of water that dips in the waves, and you follow that. There's still going to be parts of that water that don't go through. There'll be little gaps and things along it. And of course, you'll also have at the highest peaks, you usually have bits that are flying off. Maybe somewhere like this could have actually had one. Not really gonna pay much attention to that. I want the biggest ones to be coming out over here. And just to exaggerate how quickly he brought these machete up above everything else. All of it is about exaggeration. Thank you, Heiko. Very appreciated. Honestly, there probably wouldn't be a bump there because there would be water underneath. You're fine, Heiko. I know you're up at like weird hours usually for this. I myself have been crashing out, and in not the hilarious way, these past few days. Completely like sleeping for like 6 hours and like not knowing that I fell asleep until I wake up. Which I don't think I have insomnia, it's just an epilepsy thing sometimes, sadly. Okay, we're gonna get our dock down. I guess it can be up here, it doesn't matter. Our water, I'll redo the lines for that down here after the dock. What are you thinking of my fish, buddy? Must not, because opinion is important. About that width is good. I'm trying to think because there's so many different types of docks, and I've grown up near lakes and stuff, and like not lakes with docks actually. Normally they have a lakes and shit I'm used to. The dock is like a man-made. It's not man-made, but it's not an official dock. It's not like a nice wood dock. It's just like a, yep, the landing's here, and you get to follow the slope off the edge. Just glides into the water that way. So I'm gonna make. Now I think that original width is actually a little bit closer. It just needs to be parallel to this is the important part. And once we make one that's parallel to it at the width that we like, we can start following through the rest of these and make this about the same width. But of course we know with perspective, as we get closer, that width will get bigger. Not necessarily by a large amount, since we're already in terms of like the perspective of this, we're already pretty damn close. But once we get to like maybe here-ish, it'll be like an inch bigger. So I just judged this by my own eye because I'm fucking, this isn't important. And also I hate drawing backgrounds. The nice thing here about our dock leading off the edge is that that means we don't have to worry about it matching up to the other side so much. We just pay attention to these, which I think this one's a little off. Yeah, it might be. I just eyeballed a bit. If I was somebody that did backgrounds all the time, which I'm a fucking about to be. God. As of this comic. Which I want to be good. I really do want to be good at landscapes, but I just suck at them. I can't see straight lines very well. I have fucked up eyes that I get for my dad. Oh, I'm occupied in October because of fucking drag. It's big drag season. It's right when it's getting coldish again where I live too, so it's a good season for me, who's like very sensitive to heat, to get back into drag. Also, this October, there's some like musicals coming out alongside it and other things like that that people are just like asking me to do like performances with. How did I miss that? Hold on. Thank you. Is it done? Okay, and then I'm gonna draw. Actually, it should be. This is when I rounded comes in. But yeah, so October can be really busy because of that. And in drag, a lot of October, you can do different like Halloween costumes. You don't have to. You don't have to do just drag on like just Halloween drag on Halloween. Like, there's Halloween shows going on like all the fucking time. Should I make this really not like that? I was gonna say, should I make this like wider in terms of like wider than just one, or just is that good? And then make like another. Something about this is really fucked up looking. I don't like it at all. I don't like when I did it as like a complete straight line either. I want it to be just a little bit off. It needs to be more like this. I suppose that's okay. These should be wider, Doc. Like these things, the columns that support docs are fucking wide as shit. About the length of that, but whatever. Just gonna make it as long as it wants to be, and then I'll erase whatever looks wrong after I fill it in with water later. I think it would only be this one that's visible. I just wanted them to look like rounded columns, not that it fucking matters. Don't know why I'm ever concerned with things I'm concerned on when I'm just doing little simple Inktober drawings. See how this looks really flat. This should have more of a curve. Sometimes you can fix things by doing a secondary thing. And this water is looking very congealed because of the way I'm drawing it here. It just don't look right. This is my problem with fucking any kind of like perspective, like landscape. I'm working on it. I am practicing my landscapes and I'm watching like different ways that people do it, but the way I was taught landscapes was completely through like sitting down and drawing a landscape, you know? Like going outside and drawing the landscape. So it's really like I just never, it's really hard for me already to do it when it came to me doing it outside when I was in art school, but I think that's okay. This perspective is off though. Anyway, it was already really hard for me to do it in art school by going outside and looking at it because my eyesight's shit, but this is looking like Jason the fish. Okay, I'm not upset with this really, but trying to transfer those skills into graphic style, like drawing in a fucking, I have the smallest Wacom available. I think it's like an 8x10 inch or something, smaller than that maybe. No, it's definitely smaller than 8x10 inches because it's smaller than a piece of paper. It's like, what is this one then? It must be, oh, you know what? I've got a big ass ruler thing right next to me. Hold on. Thank you. I've got my I've literally got a thing, like a map right next to me that I can place this on and measure it with. I'm so dumb. Okay. It is, wait. Yeah, it's about 8 inches wide. And the height is about 6 inches. So yeah, it's their smallest and cheapest. Oh, Jesus. Where did all that hair come from? Oh, I forgot I have all these cool stickers on the back of this. I know. I never lifted up off my desk because it's completely flat. It's not like one of those tilted ones either. I have a JoJo sticker on here. Somebody gave me a Sailor Moon one. Inspired native, or not native inspired. Sailor Moon. That one, that's, I don't know what that is. It's like an Unko or Hunko snap? Just these cat, like, ones with, like, Chinese on them. For sure. Either that or really ancient kanji. Some flowery shit. There's an Ebola hunter. Really old. An IH squared. Anyway. They're just all like this is like all artists that have given me stickers. Basically. I forgot those were all on the back of my tablet. Oops. They're really, I mean, they're cool. I don't have a way to show y'all, so oh well. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is take all of our dog, not all of it, but we're gonna take each bit at a time here. I'm just gonna do it under color because I don't want to, well, it really doesn't matter. I'll do texture. If I fully plan to color this in, I'll do it on a second layer. I don't plan to, but you know. Now we're gonna go to our background. So some of these are trees. So I could make it look something like this instead. Make it look like a damn, see, that one's not gonna work. Tree-ass tree. Okay, sorry. Tree spooky. Is this enough? Oh my god, that is a fucking spooky-ass tree. That's not too far from some docks I've seen. It's not a good sign, but it's not too far. Yeah, that one's... You do not want a dock. Okay, so tree old was good. This is a tree with a big groove in it. That's not gonna work. This is a birch tree. No, let's hold it. Nope. A basic dark tree. Nope. And another basic drawn tree. This is just like, I love these because again, I can draw this really well with like pen and ink. I just hate doing... I'm not good at it with a tablet at all. Okay. So there's one. I'm just gonna go with this. I have others. I don't care. I'm just gonna select these one at a time and go to texture. And go to this. And go and cheaply see, is this too similar looking? Normally what I do, if I did something like this, I would make them a little bit blurrier as they're up closer to the screen, and I would also add in shading, and I would probably add some things to make these more different. But this is Inktober. I'm just trying to draw sketches. It's so late at night, it's almost midnight. I'm tired. Should we do spooky tree instead? Hold on. Too spooky. Too spooky. That would look insane if they were that different, actually. Okay, sorry. That look better? No, it barely looks any better. Sad. I'm gonna put the dock down here so I don't have to do so much work clicking between those. Hello? Oh, sorry. I'm trying to make so that they get a little bit of different. It's really not. So what you would do if you're trying to make these look different, since I'm still on the same thing and I'm on black here, I would just take something like my spray and I would take it into the edge and I would just make each of the crevices dark, essentially. So it would look like, one, it would look like an actual fucking dock. How they start to rot away at the edges like that. I'll do that for this. How about that? How about we do a little... I would also do this on a different layer and I would call it shading. But that's fine. I'm gonna make it just a little bit lighter. Going out this way, I'll make it darker as it goes back, I think. La-di-di-da. Da-di-da. A little closer to the edge. Thank you. Okay. And it'll be pretty much the same over here, except I will be either fucking with the perspective or not fucking with it at all. Whoop, 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 whoop. That's actually not too bad. This is just like a quick, easy way if you really are struggling with your background textures, or you're someone who's trying to do like a weekly comic. I'm not pushing myself for time on my comics because I'm trying to take care of my physical health right now. As much as I normally spend a shit ton of, whenever I do stuff like art, I do normally push myself way too fucking hard and end up working just like 24/7, and it can be very bad for you mentally and physically. Honestly, if you don't have a disability, the physical part that's gonna hurt the most is your goddamn back. You do a lot of like bending over, essentially, just for like long periods of time. October is also like, I call it horny month as a joke, but like it is literally when whenever I used to do porn comms commissions like a lot more, basically don't even do them right now, so I have a life outside of art. That's like the busiest time of year for me, is when it starts becoming fall and like cuffing season is over or something. I'm not really sure what it is, but everybody that didn't end up with a partner are just requesting porn commissions like crazy. Are just very fucking eager. I'm just gonna make this darker. Probably should do that with the other one. But this is the nice part of having these really solid, like, I don't have to, with fucking vector lines, I don't need to draw around the edge of this to get it to recognize that I'm just trying to select this. Because otherwise, if this was on a regular layer, not a vector layer, it would select this and like every fucking thing else. It's annoying as shit. Okay, it looks different enough from the other one. Oh, whoops. Scratch the most important part. La-di-di-da. Okay. That's fine. This is not like something I would probably use, like if I was doing it in my comic. If I used it like this, I'd be pretty surprised, but it might just be if it was like a really small off to the side thing. Like, I don't know. This is definitely a quick fucking way to do it. Okay, let's see how we can make this decent with what we've got. Hell yeah. Okay, I was gonna say, because some of these do not work well with, what's the word? They don't work well with going vertical versus horizontal like that. This is a great shading brush then. But even doing something as simply as I'm doing it right now, you can see how much time it takes. It's kind of like, it's shocking. You would think this stuff shouldn't take quite this much time. But that is the other annoying thing of art. Even when you can get something like locked and loaded as quickly as this is, it still takes quite a bit of time, and this is not even like turning out amazingly or anything either. I mean, it doesn't look bad, but it certainly, I would say, doesn't look like super professional. Though you could just do a little bit of warping to like the what's the word, like using like Gaussian blur or something, so that it looks more almost like image-like. It really depends on how detailed your art style is also. Mine, I can do very detailed. Like I said, I'm actually better at drawing realism than anime for the most part. But I love that 80s style anime. I just think something about it captures my attention better and tells a story better. And I like how the characters look. I like their expressions. Like Lupin the Third. I just rewatched Castle of Cagliostro the other day, and I was like, oh yes, this is exactly what I like about this era of like anime. Even though like I think that one came out a little bit later than the animes, it was definitely like that exact style. Actually, hold on. It's like this needs to be the darkest out of all of these. We can probably do something similar. Oh, these are gonna be hard because they don't go to the end of this. What we're gonna do is we can use the polyline tool, which is great whenever everything is. Ooh, no, not like that. Sorry. Whenever everything is in pretty much a straight line like this, it can be really nice, but this isn't exactly a straight line. And then what we're gonna do is the selection pin. I'm gonna tell it to add things. So you can use the selection pin to take it off, but it's kind of weird because you already have an erase selection. Not sure what the point of that is if you can also tell this one to erase. Maybe some people just don't like switching between them. Not sure. But now we have pretty much all of our visible dock there selected. Now our texture wise, it's made out of the same wood. So you would think, yes, this. And god damn it, if that doesn't look better, and this is made for vertical trees, so yeah, that makes sense actually. It's made to look like a rounded vertical trees, but it's annoying, so I was like, I'm probably gonna have to do more work on this, and I'm gonna show how you can make things look round by using shade. No, it doesn't fucking matter, because this tool was actually made for this. Never mind. Just ignore me. I'll be doing the same thing over here. Just quick polyline for most of it. Pretty much just do this and add on to my selection. Actually, that is pretty much exactly what we're looking at here. There's really not much to add on with that. I mean, I'm glad that this was easy enough. I'm trying to get a little diversity from the other one. That's not too bad. Yes. Okay, and then just a little bit around the bottoms. And very fucking simple. Oh, actually, I could probably just do, yeah, great. Love that for me. This is another reason to really use vectors as much as possible. Okay. Lasso tool is a great tool because you can just click off screen and I'll just stop selecting whatever stupid thing. Now you can see there's a massive difference in how realistic this looks. If I was gonna finish this, I would probably make this as like weirdly realistic as possible to make it much funnier in that sense, because this is such a cartoonish like line work. Like I would make this shaded to look like metal. I would give him more Trout colorings and probably more speckling even. I'll give him some more speckles here for a bit because I think he could have some. Which fish are interesting because when they do have dots like this on them, they tend to pretty much line up like there's not like a really like a loose layering of dots. They just kind of stop in that abrupt line, but I'm just for the sake of letting it look more artistic, will make it less realistic. Just gonna try to make them a little bit thicker so they're more visible. And I'm gonna give them spacing in between again, even though like instead of making dot to dot to dot, I'm gonna do dot up, dot up. Spacing like that, I mean, just because I think the human eye is attracted to it more, and I'm not gonna let any go much closer to that because, again, the human eye, not a fan of that style. Typically, like having this here, but like not quite touching, can be very annoying for people. It's just a matter of perfectionism, but also reality that we just crave certain things visually this should pretty much follow through. This would be where he would be like completely white underneath, which there is good evolutionary reasons for that actually. I might just connect this. That's straight up a lip. I do need my soft one to fix a bit of a problem here, but that's too thick. Anyway. This is our weirdly realistic duck. Jason. Fucking fish. Trout fish that we've made. Big ass stretch on me. Do I need to eat more of this wings? Absolutely not. Will I? Possibly. I don't know if it said I'm eating like only protein, but I'm still feeling like woozy. I probably just need some fucking sleep. I apologize. I don't think I'm gonna be able to do much more to this anyway without like going overboard. At some point during Inktober, I probably will do some kind of like horny version of Inktober for everybody. Maybe we will do a hot ass witch. I'm gonna delete my references here just because. Save on file space because I have way too many files. But thank you all for joining me. This has been a lot of fun. Is this the full fish? I mean, it is what it is. He's Jason, he's a trout. He's our good Judy. He's, did I call him Timothy or was it someone else? I think Timothy was the parasite. I'm losing my mind over this. I swear to God. Hate that type. See, this is the shit that, like, I will see in other people posting a commission and they'll have something that looks like that and I'm like, why didn't you fix your line? Why is it... Like, I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about way worse. Like, people have lines, like, way out of place. Like, completely not, like, unfinished looking commissions. Ooh, that shit gets under my skin. Somebody's paying, you know. Probably not enough. But, you know... I'm gonna work on some YCH content and make actual money instead. It's me signing off from our fish game and our Inktober. We may do one more silly-ish game. I thought that one was honestly gonna be way sillier. That got really dark and creepy towards the end. I'm losing it. I'm fucking losing it. Hold on. I'm like, I can glance at a drawing and see something that I can't stand. I'm so sorry, everybody. Ignore me. Just ignore me. I'm not gonna look at it. I'm gonna look away. I'm gonna look over here. In fact, I'm gonna look at just chatting, because that's what we're doing. I'm gonna minimize this window with the fish on it. I'm gonna look at Elvira on my background. Hell yeah.